You said that Ukraine should not be entitled to its own land pre-2014 borders. You also said that Ukraine should not be a member of of NATO. Zelensky said Trump has no plan. By the way, Trump, you told Americans as well that Russia was going to be sending a delegation to Munich where all the sides were going to talk, turning over all of their rare earth materials to the United States. And you had your people demand he sign it right there, which he did not do.
Trump claims his presidency was the most statesmanlike in history when it comes to peace in Ukraine. Meanwhile, in reality, he tried to blackmail Ukraine's president and constantly undermined NATO. So how did we get from stable genius to unstable grifter? Join us as we track Trump's descent into madness, one unhinged social media post at a time. We'll explore how his deteriorating mental state could impact global politics, and why we should all be paying attention. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange-tinted ex-president has been at it again. Trump's latest Twitter tirade is a real doozy, and it's got everyone from political analysts to late-night comedians scratching their heads.
Trump's psychopathic behavior is getting worse as he loses more cases in courts, as his authoritarian designs are being resisted by Europe, by Canada, by Mexico, and elsewhere. He who saves his country does not violate any law, says every dictator, I think, ever. That's what he's posting this morning, how utterly pathetic and weak he has been looking as the world has been both horrified, mortified, and just vicariously humiliated by his behavior.
Grumpy Trumpy woke up on the wrong side of his gold-plated bed and decided it was time for a good old-fashioned rant. But this wasn't just any ordinary meltdown. Oh no, this was a special kind of crazy that only Donnie Diapers could deliver. The highlight of this tweet storm? Trump quoting, "He who saves his country does not violate any law." Now, I don't know about you, but when someone starts quoting dictators, it's usually not a great sign. It's like he's trying to win a game of who's the most unhinged, and he's determined to take home the gold. But wait, there's more. Our orange friend then moved on to threatening to audit the IRS into oblivion, because apparently in Trump's world, that's totally how government works. It's like he thinks the IRS is just a big piggy bank he can smash open whenever he feels like it.
Should I audit the IRS into oblivion? Pause there. I'm going to show you what he wrote, but let me tell you what I think you should do. You should have no tax on tips. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. But there was an $880 billion cut to Medicaid, a $350 billion cut. You should lower the prices of groceries. You should lower the prices of eggs. You should make housing more affordable. Those were the things that you promised.
And let's not forget his bizarre obsession with VAT taxes. Trump's been ranting about imposing tariffs on countries with VAT taxes, which is kind of like threatening to put pineapple on pizza because you don't like sushi. It just doesn't make sense. But hey, who needs facts when you've got all caps tweets, right? Political experts are watching this Twitter meltdown with a mix of fascination and horror. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, except the train is covered in fake tan and bad hair. They're worried that Trump's social media behavior could have some serious consequence for American politics. I mean, who knew that 280 characters could cause so much chaos? As Trump continues to influence the Republican Party, his erratic claims and threats are raising eyebrows higher than his weird comb-over. It's like he's playing a game of, how much can I undermine public trust in one day? And let me tell you, he's winning that game hands down. Remember when Trump called himself a very stable genius?
The fact that they've audited you before because you don't pay your taxes. And it turned out that when people looked at your tax returns and they finally got 4 or 5 years, but this is how he riles up his base, who I doubt have been audited the way Trump has been audited. Here's his post. announcing the first ever presidential poll from Donald Trump. I hear that they'd fail worse than crooked Joe Biden on the debate stage. It would be that bad. Ben, are you sick of them? Before I make any final decisions, I need to hear directly from you.
Well, folks, it looks like the stable has left the building, but the genius for causing chaos is still going strong. Our favorite orange turd has been on quite the journey lately, and let me tell you, it's wilder than his hair on a windy day. Trump's recent behavior has been raising more red flags than a communist parade. He's been spouting off about ruling like a dictator and ignoring laws like they're just pesky suggestions. It's like he's playing a game of how much can I freak out America in one day? And let me tell you, he's winning that game hands down. The experts are getting worried, and not just because they're afraid Trump might try to grab them. They're saying his mental state is circling the drain faster than his failed casino ventures. It's like watching a reality TV show where the star thinks he's still the president, but everyone else knows he's just a grumpy old man yelling at clouds. But wait, there's more. Donnie Diapers has been making some pretty wild claims about saving America. Saving it from what, you ask? Common sense? Democracy? The ability to string together coherent sentences? Who knows? But don't worry, folks. For just 10 easy payments of your dignity and whatever loose change you can find in your couch, you too can help save America from the terrors of, well, whatever Trump's imagination has cooked up this time. The Republican Party is watching all this go down like a deer caught in the headlights of Trump's crazy train. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, or in this case, between their base and basic sanity. It's like they're trying to herd cats, but the cats are rabid and think they're running for president.
You then have this post by him as well. Trump moving towards peace in Ukraine is the most statesman-like president in history. And then this is some right-wing crazy article. It says, it calls to mind the American and world leaders who defended freedom during World War II. You serious? You think that? It's probably the opposite. What J.D. Vance did was worse than what Neville Chamberlain did by far. What J.D. Vance did was outright capitulation. What you did was outright capitulation to Putin.
As Trump continues his descent from presidential material to tinfoil hat enthusiast, we're left wondering, what's next on this roller coaster of ridiculousness? Will he claim he can control the weather with his mind? Declare himself the true heir to the throne of England? Start selling Trump-branded straitjackets? Well, folks, we've reached the end of our little journey through Trump's Twitterverse, and what a wild ride it's been. Our orange friends' tantrums aren't just comedy gold, they're a wake-up call about what happens when ego runs the show in politics. It's like watching a toddler try to run a country, but with worse hair and more nuclear codes. But hey, next time you're having a rough day, just remember, at least you're not trying to wage war on math while quoting sketchy leaders and begging for spare change online. And speaking of online, let's not forget to keep our bullshit detectors on high alert. Those fact-checking websites aren't just for nerds anymore. They're like armor against the tsunami of nonsense flooding our feeds. So grab your popcorn and stay tuned, folks. In the Trump Show, the next episode is always nuttier than the last. Who knows, maybe next week he'll try to declare war on gravity or make America float again. Either way, we'll be here, laughing through the tears.